All right, they're rolling the cover out. Now, if you guys saw our opening video, you saw how we took the cover off the pool and fan folded it. That's why they know where to start, because as you take the cover off, you fold it in such a way that you're going to put it on in the same location. So you're not putting it on upside down or backwards, because a pool of this size and this shape, you want to make sure that you got that cover laid at the right end of the pool and that it's going on with the right side up, because you don't want to be shifting this cover around the pool 3 or 4 times to get it to work. Now, as they're hooking these hooks on the pool, there's different covers. You have a mesh cover, and that's what this is. It can lay in the water, it can get wet, it can get water on top, and as you put the grommets, the springs on the grommets, it'll pull it up out of the water. If you have a solid cover, however, or a water bag cover, and you get water on top of it, it's an absolute nightmare to get the cover put on. So what we do, if you can't do it the way they're doing it, stretching it on as they go, they stretch it on and clip it as they go down the pool. If you don't like doing it that way, another idea is buckets. We take a bucket, we dip it in the pool, and we set it right here. And we put the bucket strategically all the way around the pool, and as you pull the cover across, you simply grab your bucket and set it on the cover. Then you go to the next one, grab your bucket, set it on the cover. And you do that all the way around the pool. It'll hold your cover from getting in the water. Therefore, you won't have water on top of the cover until you get them hooked on to the brass grommets. Also with these covers, it's very important that you set the tension of the springs, which I'm going to go over. You want the springs at 60% compression. If you don't, and you get snow loads on top of that cover, the snow gets on there, it pulls the cover down, and it saws across the concrete. And what it does, if you have aluminum coping, right here, it'll take the paint right off the coping. If it's concrete, you'll actually wear your concrete. So the spring tension on the cover is very critical. You want it at 60%. Again, we'll show you how to adjust that once they get the cover laid out and on. Okay. As you can see, they like to hook the shallow end first. And if we had a solid cover, it wouldn't sink like that. It would lay right on top of the water. This is a mesh. It's designed, it's supposed to sink. What they like to do, Brian typically likes to go down one side, and Sean will go down the other side. Sean will set them with his hand. And of course, it's too hard to put the cover on at the other side. So Brian will use the tool. Now I'm going to have to show you how he's using the tool. Once he gets down to this end of the pool, we'll break it down for you. Now with a mesh cover, like I said before, it can sink, it can stay in the water. You don't have to worry so much. If this is a water bag cover or a solid cover, you do not want to do it this way, because all that water on the cover, you'd never get it off. Now, Brian, while we're at this end, let me just show them how to use that tool real quick. Okay. You want to hook a few first?
Yeah.
Why don't you hook a few, then I'll show you. Go ahead. Very good. Now if you notice, Sean's hooking them by his hands because the other side's not hooked yet. And Brian, as you see this tool, there's a notch in the tool right here, and there's a high side or low side, whichever way you want to look at it. The notch side, however, when you put this on, the high side's going to go on like that and stand it up. Now to get the tool off, you simply spin it around, and now this notch is able to pull off. All right, watch how Brian does it. He's going to slide it through. He's going to hook it on. He'll either use his hand or his foot and push it down. Now he's going to twist it. Now did you see it latch around that brass grommet? That's the correct way to put a spring around the grommet. Now, while I got you right here, let me show you how you adjust the springs. What you want to do, it's very simple how these go on. This just slides through here, and that slid through both of them. So you slide it through both of them, and then you go back through this way, and you pull it like that. It all depends on the distance of the cover, but you want this spring 60% compressed, okay? So that means you're going to want that sucker tight like that. And when he comes on here with the tool, you'll see it that it's 60% compressed. The other way to do it, if you're not sure what the 60% compression is, what we're going to do, we want this cover laying flat across the top of that pool when he is done with all the anchors. When they're all on and strapped down, we want this thing like a trampoline, nice and flat. You also, after a month to a month and a half, within 2 months, you definitely want to adjust your cover. If you see it sagging in a couple spots, you have to take the spring off with the tool, and you have to adjust your cover. Keep it tight. What'd you guys lose something in the pool? Yeah, the boots typically they fall off sometimes. I'm glad that actually happened, because this is going to happen to you too as a homeowner. That's the boot. They slide off the stainless steel spring and they'll land in the water. So all they did is grab the customer's leaf net and they get it out. So that is something that can happen to you. You just got to slide it back on. And as you can see, I think they've been about 5 minutes so far, and they've just about got the cover on. Definitely check out our other videos. We have extensive pool care videos that you'll always be able to learn from us. And if you have a video that you'd like us to make that's not available in a confusing area for you, for your pool, let us know and we'll consider doing a video on it. That's what you call teamwork, huh? Now, if you notice, right through here, right through this area right here, you can see how nice and tight that cover is, how it's flat right straight across. That's what you're looking for. If it's like that over there, that's kind of bowed down and you see it kind of rippled, that's a sign that the cover's too loose. So you need to tighten it up. And when you tighten a cover up, you want to tighten it on both sides, not just one side. So in other words, when I go to tighten this spring, I'm going to tighten it a 1/2 inch on this one, and I'm going to go over there, I'm going to tighten it a 1/2 inch on that one. So whatever I do on one side, I want to do on the other so that I'm not shifting the cover out of whack on the pool. It is a little bit of time-consuming process, but I'll tell you what, it'll save the life of your cover to keep it tight, but especially it'll save the top of your pool, because you will get that sawing action back and forth, back and forth. If it's a solid cover, definitely the rain, not even the snow, but just water weight on it will pull it down. Then when you pump it off, it comes back up. Pull it down, it comes back up. And that sawing action back and forth does a lot of damage to your new pool, and that is not protecting your investment. So a simple thing like adjusting these springs to 60% compression really makes a big difference on how your pool's going to look when you open it up in the springtime.